Good evening, my beautiful brothers and sisters in Jesus. How are you today? I hope you're well and I hope you're blessed. Today is the 30th of April 2024. It is 10 p.m. here in Australia. I hope you're doing well and I hope you've been blessed. Wow, brothers and sisters, I am just on cloud nine. Massive day of revelation today. Big thanks to my beautiful sister who had incredible revelation today and shared it with me, and it's just led me down this incredible path of just finding out all these things. And I'm basically just sitting here thinking I have to share this with my brothers and sisters because this is unbelievable. Now, I'm going to preface this video with stating that this is not going to be for those of you that are happy with what the pastors and preachers and the people standing on the pulpits are telling you, because this is going to really agitate you. So if you want to know the truth, if you want to explore, if you want to ask questions, then come on this ride with me. But the way I feel is that if something really resonates with my heart, with my spirit, then I look into it because I trust my Father. I trust my Father because I trust the relationship that I have with Him. And, some people may say, I chase after every shiny ball there is, and that's fine. You can have that opinion. But anyway, so I don't even know where to start. I just thought I have to jump on here because there's so many things that I want to remember for myself. So a lot of these videos are done because I'm trying to record this information so that I can remember it, because it's a lot easier when you've said something, when you've written it down and all those kind of things, to recall it later on. So let's just start from the beginning. I have, and I hope my brothers and sisters don't mind me sharing this email. I've put it onto a WordPad so we can't see your names or anything like that. But I want to read to you these emails that I've received today and how it has brought me on such an incredible journey. So as you know, just a quick little recap of the last couple of videos we've been doing. I'll just say it straight in bullet point form. Basically, Yahweh from the Old Testament is not our Father in heaven. Jesus says this very clearly. He says to the Jews, you are from your father in heaven. You are from your father, the devil, who is a liar and a murderer from the beginning. Hence the reason the Old Testament's full of bloodshed, genocide, killing of infants, etc., etc. Okay, we're not going to go back too much into that. So with that being said, may Father bless all of you that have sent me emails and links. And you guys, I'm telling you, when we work together, when we come together and we share our own puzzle pieces, it's happening, brothers and sisters, and it's happening before our eyes. Like, before I get into this, I really wanted to put the amount of videos that I'm seeing on TikTok about the tornadoes that are over in the States at the moment. I forget which particular area it is, but they had over like 300 tornadoes. And the weird thing was, last year on that exact date, I think it was like April 27th or April 28th, last year on that exact same date, they had the same mass amount of tornadoes, and it's just ripped the shreds through this place. I'm telling you. And the flooding over in China, they had to evacuate over 100,000 people, and now the flooding, there's been that much flooding in China now. China is literally sinking. You have the earthquakes in Taiwan. You can't even keep up with it. We're here, brothers and sisters. We are here. We're at the end. And this is why all this truth is coming out now. And it's an exciting time to be alive, I'm telling you. So with that being said, I just want to say, I've been really strong in the last couple of videos of Jesus' words only. Scrap the rest of it, okay? I showed you proof and evidence of the book of Revelation is in Masonic Elite's playbook. Okay, that was added in there. And how the link between Judaism and Freemasonry, they're like one and the same. They have all the same, they've got the menorah, they've got all the same. It goes back to the Solomon, right? Solomon's temple. Anyway, and Paul's writing. Okay, Paul's writing he started Christianity, and I was given a video the other day by my dear brother, and he showed me the origins of the word Christ and where it comes from. It's full Egyptian, full pagan, etc., etc. And this is why I felt uncomfortable saying Christ, because I knew there was something weird about it. Anyway, that all aside, tonight's video I want to talk to you about something. So, like I said, I put the emails onto a WordPad, and this is amazing. So, I got this one. Okay, and I think I got it the other day, but because I have so many emails, it takes me a long time to get through them, but I trust, Father, that I see them at the right time. Okay, so it says, "Hi Rebecca, I've enjoyed your recent videos a lot and find the info very eye-opening. I have long suspected that many things about the Old Testament Yahweh were off and seemed very brutal, and the whole chosen people narrative has caused a lot of problems in the world today." I just wanted to read that top bit there because that is so true. The whole chosen people narrative, right? They say, oh, they're the chosen people. Like you read in the book of Jubilees too. It says that, that God chose them and the Sabbath was just for them and blah, blah, blah. And, that's literally what the whole thing is. And this is why to this day, 99% of Christian churches and stuff say, oh, we stand with Israel. But look what they're doing, brothers and sisters. But we're not going to get into this. What I wanted to take note of, down here, he makes another awesome point. You mentioned in your last video about Yeshua giving himself in sacrifice on the cross, knowing his Father would raise him from the dead. Is it possible that our Father did not require for him to die? It goes back to the requirement for a blood sacrifice. I had mentioned this in a previous email, being required by Yahweh. I've had a hard time believing our Father, one, would require any of his children to die. Perhaps Yeshua came here, appearing on earth, not born as a baby, like you mentioned, and was here to help us, free us from prison, but didn't actually need to die. They just murdered him as a sacrifice to their God. I'm like, oh my goodness. My sister had this revelation the other night, which I talked about in my last video, about, and I think this is what she was trying to relay to me, about that Jesus didn't really have to die. They literally murdered him as a sacrifice to their God, right? Brothers and sisters, this is absolutely incredible to understand this knowledge. And what were we going about? Oh yes, to help us to be free from the prison. Okay, now the backstory to this is for the last 3 or 4 days I've really been led to look down and have a look at this soul trap theory and being in a prison. More, we say, oh yeah, we're on a prison on this earth in metaphorical terms, but I'm like, no, there's something more to it. There's something more to it. And so I got on this big, rabbit hole, if you like, looking into our souls being trapped here, and we go into a continual cycle, like reincarnation, all this kind of stuff, because we're trapped here and whatever, okay? And so I looked right into it and I'm like, oh man, this is full on. So I left it, but it just kept nagging at me. It's like, there's something to this fact that what we think we are here, like when we look down and we're like flesh and bones and we think we're here in a physical sense, there's something so much more greater that we're not being told. And this is the wonderful thing that's coming out at the moment, and it's only because, like I said, my beautiful brothers and sisters are writing emails, sending links, and it's just all just coming together. It's literally all coming together. And there's one part down here. He's like, one other thing, have you ever heard of a YouTube channel called Yellow Rose for Texas? You might like her videos. She talks about us being in a construct situated between heaven and the underworld. She says our real physical bodies are asleep in heaven, and we've been glued into these false bodies by a sound frequency. Now, a year ago, 2 years ago, a lot of us would have been like, nah, get this stuff, this new age hippie stuff away. But now, brothers and sisters, oh my goodness, now this is literally, it's the time for us to know this. It wasn't the time for us to know this 2 years ago or a year ago. The time for us to know this and understand this is now. Because like it says, we don't fight against flesh and blood. We fight against the principalities and the spirits of the air. There is something that has been covered for so long, and now that veil has fallen and it's just been revealed big time. Okay, and the Elohim have kept us prisoners here and harvested our energy, and there's a negative AI that controls everything here. There's a negative AI that controls everything here. So I reply, wow, bless you for sharing Yellow Rose, Texas. This resonates with me completely, because I just watched it, right? What he said, the link that he sent. It's funny because 2 days ago I was on a journey into the soul trap and was looking into the theory of the moon being a soul trap, and it's just all too weird for me, but I still couldn't shake off the wanting to know more. Then you send this, and your last paragraph regarding our souls being in heaven and we are glued to false bodies was exactly what another brother on TikTok has been trying to show me for the past week. He said he's been watching me and has seen that I was this close to the truth, and he was trying to say this life is like that scene in the Matrix where our bodies are in capsules and we were just plugged into this reality. This is wild. And like straight away I got the image of, like I said, in the Matrix, that scene where they're, in that capsule and all those wires are hooked up to the back of their heads. And oh my goodness, brothers and sisters, and then also, the verse, like in the book of Revelation. See, this is a thing. Like I said, it's their playbooks. They've got to tell us what they're going to do ahead of time, and they do. It's the same with Paul, Revelation, everything like this, they have half-truths. Okay, that's how they became so popular, because it sounds good. But, there's a saying about discernment. It says, discernment is not just being able to tell falseness from truth, but it's to be able to tell the difference between almost truth and complete truth. You know what I mean? And this is what they do. This is what these books do. The devil's not stupid. So all of these books that have been added by Jesus's words, okay, everything else by Jesus's words, they, and you know how I've been talking about the book of John. I wasn't 100% completely sure about the book of John. Well, I got my answer about that, because the book of John, because it talks a lot about, if John 1:1 is the big, Trinity pushing, in the beginning was God, God was the Word and the Word was God, all that kind of thing. And, the book of John was added much, much, much later, okay, than the Matthew, Mark and Luke. So I got my answer there. Everything, everything that you feel, this is why I always say to you, never, ever, ever back down from what you and the Father have your relationship. You defend it, because whatever he tells you in secret, you hold to it, brothers and sisters, even when people are saying you're crazy, because this is the true relationship that we have, okay, because he trusts us with this understanding, this inner standing of what is real truth. Okay, well, like I was saying, that part in the book of Revelation where it says, and the souls under the altar cried out to God and said, "How long, O Lord, holy and true, do you not avenge the blood on those that, do you not avenge those that spilt our blood?" And, this very well could be a truth, this part. And this makes sense, the souls under the altar. And the whole sleep thing. Okay, we're going to get into that. I don't want to jump ahead. So I screenshot this letter and sent it to my sister. I sent it to my sister because my sister which I'm about to read her emails in a second, which I should probably read. So anyway, I screenshotted my brother's email and sent it to my sister, and this is what my sister sent me this morning. Sorry to confuse you, but she wrote, "Hey sister, hold on to your seat." So she gave me this morning before I read this other one. She's like, "I just experienced the biggest revelation ever. Check out this." And sister, I hope you don't mind me sharing this. I've taken your name out, so it was just too good not to share. Okay, check out this pic. My daughter drew it. She has had a demon we can't rebuke. She keeps saying that she is a boy and even cuts her hair trying to look like a boy. She kept being naughty. I could see the boy's spirit. So here's the revelation. That brown pic is a boy with a tombstone. My daughter called it her. I then realized it's a little boy's spirit. So instead of rebuking, I prayed in Jesus' name for his forgiveness and salvation, and she yawned 10 times like the spirit was leaving her. Pardon me. Then she said she feels much better now. Okay? So I'm like, oh my goodness, this is unbelievable. I hope you're following along with these revelations, because these are massive, absolutely massive, okay? And then she goes on to say, we have been taught to rebuke spirits when we are supposed to try and save them. Okay, why do you think they demonize things? Oh my goodness, I hope I can try and explain this properly. Why do you think they've always tried to demonize, mediums and, like look at exorcists, whatever they're called, for example, the priests that go around and do exorcisms on houses and stuff like this. Okay, it's obviously a real thing, and we've been told as Christians, stay away from it. Okay, yet again, it's in the Old Testament, don't talk to spirits. And look, please don't misunderstand what I'm saying here. I'm not saying go out and have a seance and blah blah blah. What I'm saying is everything we've been told is wrong, and it's the other way around. And so she goes on I'll just finish reading what she wrote. We've been taught to rebuke spirits when we're supposed to try and save them. Pray for their forgiveness and salvation and hand them over to Jesus, not back to the devil. Jesus came to set the captives free. We can do it in the spiritual warfare. We have it all wrong. We're supposed to be love and light. We need to pray love, forgiveness, salvation, not rebuking and renouncing. Satan has us all fooled. Do you get how big this is? Yes, I do, sister. Do you get me? Yes, I do. I feel like this is the biggest revelation ever. It's been right in front of my face for over a month. I watched a Buddhist go to hell and explain it. Then 8 pastors came and prayed for him, and Jesus came and saved him. This is for real and mass deception. Let me know what you think. And I'm like, oh, this is absolutely amazing, sister. This explains so much. Like how the Mormons pray and baptize their dead. Because that's always been a weird thing, right? The Mormons, they apparently baptize the dead. And that's seen as a real weird thing that they do. But you would have known if you've been with me for a while. I've done quite a few videos on some of the beliefs of the Mormons, and my spirit resonates with quite a few of them. One, that they suggest that Jesus and Satan were actually brothers in heaven, and that makes complete sense to me. That's why you see, and then people will go, oh, that's just blasphemy. This woman thinks that Jesus and Satan is the devil, brothers, blah, blah, blah. But come on, let's just break out of this, this trap that we've been under. Doesn't it make sense when you read all of the Old Testament? Literally every story is about brothers. Every single one of them, and one of them's evil and one of them's good. Every single one of them, right from the beginning, Cain and Abel. It just makes so much sense, right? So, and this is why we're supposed to, we're supposed to work together, brothers and sisters. We all hold a bit of truth. And this is why if we work together, we're going to find this quicker and faster. And I think we're running out of time, so we really need to drop the, the disagreements with each other and the I'm right and you're wrong and my church and denomination's the right one, whatever, and all this stuff. So I wrote, this explains so much, like how the Mormons pray and baptize the dead. It explains why mediums will help spirits cross over instead of rebuke them, like you said. This is the biggest revelation indeed. Think about it. We are supposed to be working for Jesus, saving souls. My sister wrote this now. Think about it. We are supposed to be working for Jesus, saving souls, not working for Satan by rebuking them and sending them back to hell. Maybe that's why they came to us, because we believe and have the power in Jesus' name to save them. Jesus was raising people from the dead. Brothers and sisters, let's wake up. This is amazing. We have the spiritual warfare wrong. It's like the story of the rich man and Lazarus in Abraham's bosom. These souls are probably getting sent on missions to mess with Christians, but actually they want to pray for them. They want us to pray for them. Why do we get attacked the most? They want our attention, and it's a good excuse to come for us. But if we pray for them, we save them. Now, this may sound completely radical to you, but this sounds just, like I said, it resonates with me big time. Absolutely big time, because this is why I had such a breakthrough when I found out about and really understood about Yahweh in the Old Testament, about, when I could, when the blinders were taken off my eyes and I could see the bloodshed and the infant killing and the genocide and just the hatred and the constant destruction and no mercy that was shown all throughout the Old Testament, and then Jesus comes and he represents our loving, merciful, joyful, passionate, beautiful Father in heaven, that no soul he wants perished. He wants to gather us all. No soul he wants to have perished, brothers and sisters. No soul. Okay? And so then I went on here. Okay, so I sent a screenshot and sent my brother's email to my sister. Okay, and then she's like, OMG, sister, I just read that email. This and so much resonated with me. I've been praying for truth. Also, I've had a massive sense that so much is twisted and lost in translation. I've also been praying about what's lost. I just want to know Matrix resonates, prison resonates. Whoever that is speaking in the email, I'd love to talk to them. And so yes, brother and sister, I'm going to try and, if that's okay with both of you, try and share your emails with each other so you can talk, because you're both very similar. Do you know I've always wondered if I got raptured and this version of me is trapped. I don't tell anyone this stuff, but this has really got me thinking. I always wake up and think, where do we go when we're dreaming? And I'm like, oh man, so do I. I literally think every morning when I wake up, I'm like, I was somewhere. The dream world is literally half of our life, right? She finishes off saying, I'm figuring out too much and lots of my dreams have been blocked since 2021. So I wrote back to her, I will message him and try and connect you. When you said you've always wondered where we go when we're dreaming, something in me just clicked. I've always said to the kids, we literally spend half of our lives in this world and half of our lives in another one when we're sleeping. And then it dawned on me, why does Jesus associate death with sleeping? I'm like, what the? For as soon as Jesus took that last breath on the cross, he was in Abraham's bosom. So there's no such thing as death. It's just transferring from one reality to the next. Oh man, I'm about to have a heart attack, LOL. I mean, the elites even talk about transferring consciousness. And then I said, is this how Satan was able to come before Father in heaven? By sleeping / dreaming / astro projecting, etc. Oh sister, I'm buzzing with goosebumps. Buckle up, the truth bombs are about to explode. And then I said another quick one. I said, LON, this could explain the mass amount of rapture dreams that people are having. Is this just a stimulation loop that people are stuck in? Oh, brothers and sisters. Because this is the one thing people say to me so often on my comments. They're like, well, how do you explain the people who are having all the rapture dreams and stuff? And I like I said, I was, from 2016 to the end of 2023, I was like rapture queen, I would push that so much. I was like, I believed it and would have given my life for it. But then, like I said, the veil came down, but not once did I ever have a rapture dream in that whole, 8 years that, that I knew about the rapture. Not once did I have a rapture dream. And it just makes so much sense. It literally makes so much sense. So, now, okay, just before I get onto this, okay, so this is the channel here, Yellow Rose for Texas, okay, Yellow Rose for Texas, and this is the video. I'm going to link it below. The Elohim are not God. Okay, this was a year ago. This was unbelievable. This was unbelievable, brothers and sisters. This just put it all together, because this was the one that my brother linked, and because he was saying this woman thinks a lot like the way you do. And she goes, and she talks about us being asleep in heaven, and our, we're sort of, our frequencies are stuck here. So just watch this, absolutely amazing. Okay, now, I came across this one, right? GPT-3 on transferring consciousness onto a computer, because I knew I'd heard this before. I watched ages ago, years and years ago, about this thing, this whistleblower. I forget what his name is, but I don't even know if he's alive still. But he was talking about how something Matthew Mathers or something like that. He was a singer, he was a songwriter for some of the biggest singers in the world, right? And what did he do? Anyway, he was privy to seeing these elites gathered together, and he was talking about how they transfer their consciousness at night times. Look, it's been like literally 10 years ago when I saw this stuff, and so it just came to mind now with everything that we're learning now. And I'm like, so I type in, as you can see up here, consciousness transfer, and this video came up, and I was like, oh my goodness. So I'm not going to play it because I'll get a copyright strike, but it's only like 1:18 long, but I did the voice recording for it. Okay, so it's a person asking an AI robot, the question about transferring consciousness. So I just want you to listen to this.
Is it possible to transfer our consciousness onto a computer?
Yes, it is possible to transfer our consciousness onto a computer.
Would the original consciousness live on or cease to exist?
As I understand it, the main difference between transferring our consciousness onto a computer and dying is that with death our consciousness ceases to exist in the physical world, whereas with transferring our consciousness onto a computer we continue to exist as a conscious entity in the digital world.
Would the transferred consciousness act as a new consciousness compared to the original one?
No, the transferred consciousness would be a copy of the original. The copy would have all the memories and experiences of the original, but it wouldn't be the original person.
Would this result in immortality for the person?
That's a difficult question to answer. If you're asking if the person would live forever, the answer is no. If you're asking if the person would have eternal life, the answer is yes.
What do you mean?
Immortal refers to living forever. Eternal life means living indefinitely.
So living forever and living indefinitely are two separate things?
Yes, they are.
What makes you think that?
From what I know, immortality is the ability to live for an infinite amount of time. However, if someone were to live forever and never age or die, that would be an indefinite life.
Okay. I hope your mind is blown right now. I hope your mind is blown, because this explains so much of where we are right now with the whole transhumanism. This is what they're doing, brothers and sisters. This is why they're doing it. This is why they gave us the, the jib jab. Because this is their attempt to keep us trapped forever, indefinitely. Okay? And oh my goodness me, I'm not saying that if you had the jib jab, that that's it. If you're still searching and looking for the truth, nothing can take you from Father's hand. Okay, nothing can remove you from that. So, but what I'm trying to say, brothers and sisters, is that I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I hope you can understand my ramblings, because like I said, I just had to get this all out now before I forgot. But this is exactly what they're doing, and why they're trying to transfer consciousness onto a computer, i.e., our skeletal system will be the housing of the computer. And once that happens, brothers and sisters, it's this is their no wonder it did say, or it does say in the book of Revelation, that this mark, people who take the mark will literally be damned. So it's got to be something that goes literally like a computer chip, literally, that will change you and trap you forever and indefinitely. Oh my goodness, brothers and sisters, this is just absolutely wild. Everything makes so much sense now, and it makes sense. When I was just having a shower before too, I just wrote some things down, and I had to process. As soon as I came out, I had to write them down, because I'm like, this is amazing. Okay, because we hear, there's power in the blood. There's a song called "There's Power in the Blood," right? In the Old Testament, there's life in the blood. And then you look at today's sick, wicked elite. What do they do? What are they constantly doing with children's blood and stuff like that? Okay, this is the whole thing is their playbook. I'm telling you, other than Jesus' words, the whole thing is their playbook. And then Father put on my spirit the verse, lean not on your own understanding. How people, I get that a lot. Over the years, I get that a lot. Oh, stop leaning on your own understanding. And straight away in my heart, I'm like, well, whose understanding do I lean on then? The pastors and the preachers and the pulpits? You know what I'm saying? Whose understanding do you lean on if you don't lean on your own understanding? And I'm like, this is the trickery, and this is the half-truths, how they get you, brothers and sisters. It's like saying, where as a Christian you should never meditate. You should never meditate because you're opening your mind to let things in. It's BS, all of it. It's all BS, brothers and sisters. Like Jesus said, a bad tree cannot grow good fruit, and a good tree cannot grow bad fruit. It is literally good versus evil. That's it. We're already signed and sealed and delivered to the day of our redemption. This is why our names are written in the book of life from the foundations of the world, because we're already there. The victory's already been won. We are just, and I wrote this cool quote down, okay, and it says, we've created a simulation, right? So we all went into the agreement and created this simulation down here so that we can forget who we are, so that we can discover who we are, who we truly are. I hope you can understand what I'm saying. It sounds very new agey, but This is like, my mind is blown on it. I feel like I can't even comprehend a lot of this stuff at the moment, and that's why I needed to talk to you guys. I needed to share this with you, and I hope I'm making sense. I hope I'm not just rambling. But one other thing I wanted to mention too, she, in this video here, okay, where did she write it? Because this was spot on. Oh yeah, all these cubes of Saturn. But please go and watch this video. This is, okay, this is the real sky. This is the real sky, infrared filter. Okay, this is what the real sky looks like. Skynet, I'm telling you, the internet, the Skynet, the sun, the moon, the stars, it's all created by the Elohim. We are literally in a simulation. We are trapped here, brothers and sisters. We need to learn to, look, I can only say it in terms that we understand. And we've got to get rid of the idea that these terminologies are like new agey or whatever, okay? But we've got to be able to raise our frequency. It's literally true. I see it now, because I've always sort of held back from that because of what we've been told. It's like, oh, don't go down that path with the crystals and the healings and the frequency and all that kind of stuff. But when you watch all the stuff like, the Secrets to the Universe 369 and the Nikola Tesla stuff and cymatics, I mean, this is something that you can see, when they place sand on speakers and stuff like that, and they play certain frequencies, they make beautiful symmetrical patterns on there. How can that be if frequency is not an important thing? And obviously the fallen angels, the Elohim, Satan and his crew, they have that, that technology and that knowledge of all of this stuff. But what we see, the sun, moon, stars and the Skynet here, is just their dodgy ass attempt and mimic of where we came from heaven with our Father, right? This is just his dodgy, and I don't know, we're all going to remember, I assume one day when we're all back up there, that we made this agreement to come down here, because I have said that for years, that we were in heaven before we came down here. And we all agreed that we would come here and we'd have this human experience, because in the end we had to make that choice. Do I follow my Father or do I follow the devil, Satan? Which one has a better plan? We all had to make that choice, okay? So this is why we come down here and experience the things that we need to do. But in saying that, the reason so many are going to be left behind, so to speak, because even Jesus says many are called, but few will be chosen. The many that are called that are going to be left behind, many, many more that are chosen, is because they're not seeing this truth. They're not realizing, they're living in what we would call a low frequency. Okay, a low frequency which continues that trapping, which, and this is why, they give us a clue. They give us a clue in the book of Revelation. At the end, it says, those that live, the doubters and the fearful, will not enter the kingdom of heaven. Okay, will not enter in. And people are like, oh, well, that's not fair, because everybody doubts, everybody's fearful. We live in a fearful, horrible world at the moment. And I'm like, no, don't fear. Jesus, Luke chapter 10, verse 19, Jesus said, I give you all power over the serpents, the scorpions, and over all evil. Nothing will touch you or hurt you. Who are you going to believe? The devil or Jesus? Okay, who are you going to believe? We're trapped here because of our unbelief. And this is what we're coming to. Oh my goodness, I'm just getting such a rush at the moment, because I'm just realizing the significance of this. This is why we haven't been so-called raptured or removed yet. or taken home yet, brothers and sisters, because this needs to happen. What's happening right now, this truth, this unveiling, this for you to accept it and receive it and confess it with your own mouth, and so that you can move higher up and be along the same wavelength, as they want to say. Oh man, I pray that you that you are understanding what I'm saying, because oh man, I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing at the moment. This is what the hold up is, but it's all in perfect timing as well. It is the way it's supposed to be. The chosen ones will be the chosen ones, and the left behind will be the left behind. They made, even Jesus said, those that seek their life to save their life will lose their life. Okay, there's all these people trying to save their life by getting the jab and listening to the government and doing whatever, And then there's other people who stood up and were like, no, I trust Father. I trust what he gave me is enough. I trust what Jesus did on the cross was enough. It filled it, it paid for everything complete and in full, and I trust in that. And like he said, everything that's said against the Father, everything that's said against the Son can be forgiven. Okay? So don't think, I've done too much, I can't be forgiven. Everybody in every sin can be forgiven, brothers and sisters. But don't procrastinate. We are all sons and daughters, prodigal sons and daughters. Father is begging us to come back home. And this is the key. This is the key. Is the frequency. Is the key. Oh, brothers and sisters, this is so amazing. Okay, we have created a simulation so that we can forget who we were and discover who we are. This is amazing. Okay, so that's what I was going to talk about. So yeah, I mean, look at this. This is real infrared footage of the sky, and I'm telling you, I did that video on the solar eclipse. Which one was it? Let's have a look. And I called it the Tower of Babel 2.0, and I said this was exactly a recount of the Tower of Babel. There we are. The event of the solar eclipse is the Tower of Babel 2.0. Okay, and that was the the download, a warning about the solar eclipses, demon faces, CERN, cicadas. Brothers and sisters, like I said, whatever Father tells you in secret, you shout on the rooftops, because this is all coming to play now and all coming to pass. This is the right time. 2024 is, I believe that this is our year, brothers and sisters. This is our year. And it's not the rapture that the church has told you, okay, that the Jesuits constructed up. What it is we're coming and approaching to the moment of the heaven and earth passing away, okay, because the whole world is reeling. In the book of Esdras, it says that, I read it the other night, and the angel said, don't be shaken, because you're going to feel the mountains and everything move around you, because they're going to quake at the prophecy that's coming, because they know it concerns them, okay, because they must change, or they must melt away. Okay, so it says, then a big resounding voice came, and this is the voice of Father, right? And it gives a prophecy of, all these things are going to happen, and then everything is going to melt away, everything is going to change. Everything will change, brothers and sisters. We will change. We're going to be changed into immortal. Oh my goodness. The whole world is going to be changed. It's literally going to be a new heaven and a new earth. Okay? Heaven and earth are going to pass away. And And actually, while I'm thinking about it, because the only mention of the new heaven and the new earth is in the book of Revelation, so that makes me think, let's go to Matthew 24. This could be very well, oops, I just want to go here quickly because I'm just got something on my mind at the moment. Matthew, because that's all you need to know is the words of Jesus. All right, we're going to come down here. Okay. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knows no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. Okay, so the heaven and earth are going to pass away. Now, I want to read you something from 2nd Esdras again. And it's talking about this exact event of heaven and earth passing away and everything being silent, and there being no sun, then no moon, and everything like this. Okay, I'm going to find it. This is amazing. Okay, this is going to blow your mind, because this is possibly where the book of Revelation got the idea of 1,000-year millennial reign. Okay, but this is very interesting. I'm just going to read it to you and then we'll talk about it afterwards. This is the second book of Esdras, chapter 7, starting in verse 26, and it's titled The Temporary Messianic Kingdom. Okay, so it says this: For indeed the time will come when the signs I have foretold to you will come to pass, that the city that is now not seen shall appear, and the land that is now hidden shall be disclosed. Oh my goodness. Everyone who has been delivered from the evils that I have foretold shall see my wonders. For my Son, the Messiah, shall be revealed with those who are with him, and those who remain shall rejoice 400 years. After those years, my Son, the Messiah, shall die, and all who draw human breath. Then the world shall be turned back to primeval silence for 7 days, as it was at the first beginnings, so that no one shall be left. After 7 days, the world that is not yet awake shall be roused, and that which is corruptible shall perish. The earth shall give up those who are asleep in it, and the dust those who rest there in silence, and the chambers shall give up those souls that have been committed to them. The Most High shall be revealed on the seat of judgment, and compassion shall pass away, and patience shall be withdrawn. Only judgment shall remain. Truth shall stand, and faithfulness shall grow strong. Recompense shall follow, and the reward shall be manifested. Righteousness deeds shall awake, and the unrighteous deeds shall not sleep. The pit of torment shall appear, and opposite it shall be the place of rest. And the furnace of hell shall be disclosed, and the opposite the paradise of delight. Then the Most High will say to the nations that have been raised from the dead, Look now and understand whom you've denied, whom you have not served, whose commandments you have despised. Look on this side and on that. Here are the delights and rest, and there are fire and torments. Thus he will speak to them on the day of judgment, a day that has no sun, or moon, or stars, or clouds, or thunder, or lightning, or wind, or water, or air, or darkness, or evening, or morning, or summer, or spring, or heat, or winter, or frost, or cold, or hail, or rain, or dew, or noon, or night, or dawn, or shining, nor brightness, nor light, but only the splendour of the glory of the Most High, by which all shall see what has been destined. It will last as though for a week of years, This is my judgment, and it is prescribed order, and to you alone I have shown these things. There you go. So, it could be very truthful, brothers and sisters. I don't know. Who knows? Whatever the situation is, if we all have to die, I have complete trust that it's going to be peaceful, wonderful, sleeping, as I said. It's just sleep. This is exactly what Jesus said. Don't fear. Why are you weeping? He's only sleeping. I'm rhyming tonight. I'm a poet. I didn't know it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, this is where possibly they got this millennial reign from, and they're like, oh yeah, we'll just pinch a bit of here and a pinch a bit of there. I'll make up this, we're going to be reigning and ruling with Christ, and with a rod of iron and all this kind of stuff. Maybe the second book of Esther has got it right. Maybe we will be with him for 400 years, Jesus, and then we'll all die together. And then, and then the judgment day, because the whole earth deserves, the rest, maybe. You know what I mean? It deserves, because it's been so destroyed and polluted and wickedness and sinful and all the blood and everything like this. This is maybe what it needs. And then judgment happens, and then eternity begins. I'm cool. I'm cool with whatever way Father wants to do it. I'm totally cool and excited for it. I just know that it's going to happen soon. And this is the key, brothers and sisters, is turn off the news. Turn off this rapture watching BS. I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, this is where Satan is using this tactic of placing the tail on the donkey, chasing that carrot constantly that's hanging in front of your head. And by you watching, the red heifers, they were sacrificed, and this looks like the sign of Revelation, and this looks like the beginning of tribulation, and all this, this person got stabbed, and all this stuff continuously, placed into our consciousness, and us dwelling on it, and all this kind of thing. I heard once a saying that bullies, when they're mean and they say horrible things to other people, our subconscious apparently cannot tell who we are saying these things about. And this is why it internalizes itself as well. So if I call someone ugly or, nasty or whatever, then my subconscious will internalize it and tell myself that I'm ugly and nasty. And this is why bullies are always so unhappy and so mean and so nasty. And this is literally what's happening to us. This is literally what's happening to us. And this is, when we go around with our high and mighty boots on and say, you need to understand the gospel this way, and how dare you, this blasphemous and blah, 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 and, you're not walking with the Father, you're walking with different spirits and the demons and everything. When people say stuff like that, it's subconsciously internalized with their own selves. You know what I mean? And unless we get out of that and start loving one another, which is what Jesus said the greatest commandment was, right? First and foremost, to love our Father in heaven with all our heart, soul, and mind, and then to love one another. Everything else will fall under that. Okay, that's the two greatest commandments ever. And once we get that down packed, the love part, and focusing on joy, peace, harmony, grace, mercy, lovely things, peace, getting back into nature, enjoying the birds, and the wind and everything, whatever. Just being at peace, knowing that God's got this. Father has this all in his hands. And brothers and sisters, just turn off that rapture watching stuff. Okay, I know it's addictive. Believe me, I've been there. It's almost like a drug. Okay, I know it's addictive, but either way, we're going to be rescued. But if you are focusing so much on the negative, that negative energy, that negative outlook, and you're constantly worrying, you know, what if there is no rapture, and then the great tribulation starts and I'm going to have to go to the FEMA camps and get my head cut off. That's an internal dialogue that you deal with all the time, whether you think it or not. But it is a worry for most people. You know, even if they say, oh, I'm a pre-tribber, I know that, you know, I'm going to be raptured up out of here before anything goes down. No, you're going to see these things. You're going to see these things with your own eyes, because Father wants to show you what he's about. You know, his greatness, his mercy, his love, the vengeance, you know, the vengeance for all of these beloved children that have been slain, innocent blood that has been slain. Okay, it's time for vengeance and judgment soon. And nobody escapes from this, brothers and sisters. But the good thing is that we've been saved. Okay, we've got nothing to worry about, but stop with the fear and doubting and looking down that path. Alright, one more thing I wanted to mention too on this video. I was trying to find it before, but she goes on to explain that the Torah is actually a computer-coded book, and it makes so much sense. Because she said the word Yahweh is at the top right-hand corner of every page. Okay, the word Yahweh, and I've heard that so many times before. That from Genesis, Exodus, and Leviticus, every 7 letters or whatever spells Yahweh, 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 okay, in this coding thing that they do, the Bible code. And then from the book of Deuteronomy's Numbers and I can't remember the other one. What is it? Hang on. What is it? I've got to find this. Probably 2 seconds, hang on. Okay, so Deuteronomy's, alright, so Genesis and Exodus say Yahweh forward, every 7 letters, and Deuteronomy's and Numbers, so going backwards, says Yahweh's backwards. And so what do? They point to the middle book, which is Leviticus, and it says, I think it says Yahweh as well, or something like that. It's something along that analogy. But listening to me say that now, listening to myself say that now, that's such a trait of the Illuminati, is the mirror. It's such a trait of the Illuminati is to mirror, you know, forward, backwards, pointing into the middle, you know. And every 7 letter, like I proved to you and showed to you, that number 7, that's the elite's number, brothers and sisters. They have had us fooled. It's the Elohim's number. It's Yahweh's number. Yes, absolutely. You know, the Father is above all that. He actually hates numerology and gematria. Gematria is a full-on Jewish Kabbalistic thing. Okay, and I used to be right big into gematria, because it seemed like, oh, this is too good to be true. How can you make this stuff up? It's all aligning. Yeah, because the devil planned it like that. He's freaking smart. We're seeing how smart he is. Like, he has created this BS from the beginning, and it has, you know, it's made us a fool. It's made us a fool until now, because we're breaking free from those chains, brothers and sisters. This is out of this world, okay? The Torah is a computer-generated code book, and it makes so much sense. They had all this technology right from the beginning. I'm telling you, it's a fallen angel technology. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with that. As soon as I, turn this video off, I'm going to be like, oh, I forgot to say this and I forgot to say that. But it's extremely obvious that all this truth is coming out now, and that we're at the end. We're at the end. Okay? We're going to witness some things, but you stand strong in the power of Jesus' name. I'm telling you, there's nothing you have to be fearful of. Be joyful. Go out and enjoy the time that we have here. Okay, there's all there's rumours now that there's this massive lockdown coming in June and everything like this, because there was leaked Airbnb emails and preparing them all for this international lockdown or whatever. Good on them. More time to study, brothers and sisters. If that's what they want to do, go for gold, mate. Go for gold. Don't be fearful of all that crap. Okay, don't be fearful of all that crap, because wherever sin is, grace abounds more so. So whatever BS plans they've got, to accomplish in that time, grace will abound more so, and God will have more victory and win more souls. So we've got this, brothers and sisters. We've got this. Okay. All right, I love you. I pray that the Father blesses you. I pray that the Son blesses you. Please continue to send me emails and video links and stuff. Can I just ask a favour with video links? If they're very long videos, can you please just timestamp them and say this is where the really important bit is, or or explain what it's about or whatever, because like I said, I'm inundated with emails and links and stuff, and it's just so hard to just keep up with everything that I'm trying to do here and look after my kids and all that kind of stuff. So I'd appreciate that. And I love you with all my heart, soul and mind, and I'm very excited to share all this stuff with you tonight. I know you're probably going to be like, whoa, you have really shot off to space. But I know a lot of you are here for it too, because we're all in the same boat now. So hopefully that boat will be the Ark very, very soon. All right, I love you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.